Okay, guys, so Coach Kelly has been teaching you the three-quarter court 1-3-1 press, the trap, to try to get turnovers. But if you have a team that moves the ball up the floor really well, but doesn't necessarily want to shoot the ball, they want to go to the basket, you may choose to fall back into what's called a 2-3 zone. Some of you may be familiar with this, but those of you that have only played modified, you only are really familiar with man-to-man defense, and that's why we want to go over so much zone defense. In a 2-3 zone, you have two defenders at each elbow, essentially, between the foul line and the three-point line. You have two more defenders on each block, and the biggest guy on the floor is dead smack in the middle of the paint, just above the two people on the blocks. The whole point is to what's called squeeze out the paint and force a team to shoot from the outside. But you have to know all of your proper rotations within this defense, or it can break down very, very easily. So if you have an offense with a point guard, a couple of wings, and a couple of big guys right next to these defenders down here, and you have, say, the point guard swings the ball to the wing, the defense at this point is going to have to adjust. This top right guard is going to need to go out and guard the ball. This forward is going to need to get in front of this person and deny them the ball. The man in the center is going to need to slough over here. This guy is going to need to slough into here. And this guy is going to come up here and hopefully deny a pass back to the point guard. The reason you are not concerned so much about this player, you want to know where he is in case he tries to backdoor cut to the basket, but the only way to get the ball all the way to the other side of the floor is to skip pass it. And by the time it gets skipped, you can hopefully hustle into position. Now, let's look at the ball moving in the other direction. So here's your base setup again, and if the point guard goes in the other direction, the same adjustments are going to happen, just in reverse. This upper left guard is going to come out here and guard the ball. This forward is going to get in front of this big guy and deny the ball. This man in the middle is going to move over in this direction and deny any passes into the paint. This man is going to move over, hopefully deny any passes back to the point guard, but also protect this area at the top of the key. You want to stay low enough to protect this area at the top of the key. One of the biggest ways that a zone, a 2-3 zone in particular, will break down is if the ball is able to be entered into this area, they can then turn around and look for backdoor cutters to the basket, and it breaks down very quickly. So if you deny the high post entry pass, this can work quite well. The only way that a 2-3 zone is not effective, if you are rotating properly, is if you have a really, really strong outside shooting team. But unless you already know that you're facing a strong shooting team, you are going to assume that they can't hit outside shots with regularity. You make them prove that they can, and once they do prove that they can, you have to adjust to a different defense likely. But that is the only dagger to a 2-3 zone, is a really strong outside shooting team. So you want to squeeze off the paint, you want to squeeze off the high post entry pass, and force them to shoot longer jump shots, maybe even three-point shots. And if they start to hit those, you'll have to adjust. But otherwise, this is all about rotation, talking to each other, knowing where you need to be, and helping each other out.